After we develop a good stance and we work on our load, the next phase of the swing that we focus on is the stride. Now, when we get into our stride, there are a few key aspects that I want you to focus on. So our stride is determined by the length of our stance. So if we have a narrow stance, the hitter is going to have a long stride. If our hitter has a medium stance, like Alexa has, she's going to have a medium stride. And if she has a wide stance, she's going to have a very small or no stride at all. One of the keys that we really want our hitters to work in is to understand that their base of their width should be about half of their height. And for most hitters, this is the bat length. So for Alexa right here, if I put this bat between her feet, this is the proper width that we want to see at stride. And so for most hitters, even young hitters, if they look at their bat length, it's usually about half of their height. And so that's about a minimum of the width that we want for our stance. The next things that we want to see is that when we land in our stance, we want to land in a more 45-degree angle, a little bit open right here. And so what I like to call the launch position 3. The launch position 3 is having this foot a little bit open, 45 to 65 degrees, having this knee closer to the pitcher a little bit, maintaining this 50-50 balance, maintaining this good K posture. K posture, knee bent towards the pitcher, and this 45-degree angle right here. That's what we want to look like at launch position in our stride. Now, how do we get there? After our load process and into our stride consists of our weight transfer and getting our weight into our front side. And so this process starts with falling forward. We don't want to see our hitters pushing forward or lunging forward. We don't want to see our hitters reaching forward. It should feel more like a controlled fall. When I'm working with hitters, I always tell them, feel like it's a controlled fall going forward. So go back in your stance and just feel like it's this controlled fall going forward. Again, you shouldn't see any pushing. You shouldn't see any reaching. One of the hitters that I work with, one of the issues they have is they like to reach with their stance. So do me a favor, I want you to stride and reach. And you'll see that in this stance here, she's stuck on her backside, she's reaching, she's lost her K. Those are the common things that we see with the lower half in our stride. Some of the problems that we see with the stride with the upper half is our backside collapsing. Most hitters, especially young hitters, have a lot of trouble with collapsing their backside. This shoulder will go up, this shoulder will go down. Their hands are starting to go forward in this process already, and they get in trouble. So I would say this is one of the most common mistakes that hitters make is in the load process and stride process. They begin to start collapsing their backside, and they can't get to a good launch position. So again, a good launch position, wherever it starts at, is gonna be the stride, this good K posture, their knees bent, foot's gonna be a little bit more open, pointing towards more like the second baseman of a right-handed hitter, and you're gonna see this good balance, good K posture right here, okay? And we should start seeing the hitters in this good position right here, this knob of the bat should still be back here somewhere. If you see the knob of the bat in this phase going towards the pitcher, it means that their hands have already started swinging in the stride, and that's a pretty common mistake that we see. So we want to make sure that the knob is pointing somewhere back here towards home plate or the catcher in the stride process. One of the keys of stride is starting to work on separation. And when I talk about separation, I'm talking about our hips and our shoulders starting to get some separation. And we do that in the stride process. And so one of the things that we want to start seeing happening in this weight transfer going forward is we're going to start seeing, go ahead and stride. You're going to start seeing that his belt buckle is starting to turn towards the pitcher a little bit, and his shoulders are still closed. He's creating a little bit of separation in his swing. You're going to see, again, this good open stance, a little bit 45 to 65 degrees, good bent front knee. You're going to see this angle a little bit longer in this back knee. He's maintained his K posture. And again, you're going to see how his belt buckle is starting to turn towards the pitcher and his shoulders are closed. With a lot of hitters, if their hips were to open like this, you're going to see their shoulders are flying open at the same time. And it's a really common mistake with most hitters that I first see is that they swing the bat with their shoulders going first instead of their hips. So something that we really focus on is this separation drill. And in the separation drill, we teach you how to get to this good launch position with separation. So one more time, let's just get to this good position where we get that weight transfer and our hips are starting to open. We've got this good posture, maintain our K, and you're gonna start seeing the hips starting to separate from the shoulders a little bit. Now let's talk about how the hands and the bat work in the stride. In our load process, the stage before stride, you're gonna see that the hitter is going to start beginning to either tip the bat or scoop a little bit, and this bat is gonna start getting more vertical. Again, you'll see in this process, when he loads, it goes up, and as he's going forward,